Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home, and we're at a fun little place this morning called SweetBites on Trafalgar, downtown Oakville. We're here with Kathy, and this is your little place.
Yes, it is.
How long have you been here?
Just since Labor Day weekend of 2012.
Awesome. So now, what made you get into all of this?
Actually, I've always loved baking. I've been in the corporate world for over 15 years, and then I finally decided to take my passion and turn it into what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
Isn't that cool, though? You're hearing so much more of that happening these days, right? People, go to school, go one direction, but that one passion that they've had is sitting there lingering.
Exactly.
So now you get to do what you love, and it's fun, right?
It is. It's so much fun to be creative.
I bet. So let's talk a little bit about what you do in general here at SweetBites, and you have a lot of different types of sweets.
We do. We specialize in cupcakes, but we also do cakes, custom cakes, and cookies. And we also do the very popular cake pops.
Yeah.
We do custom cake pops, and we also carry everyday cake pop flavors: vanilla and chocolate, red velvet.
Nice. So there's obviously your walk-in customers, and then there's the people that are ordering ahead. So let's talk about some of the ordering ahead. So for cakes, so you do weddings and birthday parties?
Yes, we do weddings, birthday parties, anniversaries, baby showers. We get a lot of requests for cakes as well as cupcakes.
Sure.
So.
And I can imagine, and I know for little ones, I have a little guy, cake pops are a big thing for birthday parties. So so you can order these ahead in their favorite colors and design, whatever you want, right?
Yes, absolutely. And we can individually wrap them as well.
Oh, I see, and that's great too, right? Then they can take them to go.
Yes.
Because they probably already had enough sugar at the party.
That's
so
right.
Take this home and have it later one. So that's what's fun about it. Now we're obviously getting close to Easter here, about a week away. So we are kind of gearing around Easter. So you must love the fact that seasons come around, because then it forces you guys to just come up and be creative with the certain seasons.
Yes, we take all the ideas of the holiday season and we try to put them into a cupcake or a cake pop. So for instance, we have a little lamb here.
I love this lamb. Like, that is so cute. I mean, I've seen a lot of cupcakes, but that is really cute.
Yeah, so he would be like a special order if somebody wanted something like that for a party. But we will be carrying this little chocolate cupcake that looks like grass with a nest of eggs.
So is that just icing that you did?
That is icing,
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
At first I thought it was coconut, but it was coconut, but you've piped it on.
We've piped it on, yes.
Very, very cute. And you know what's great too? Around this time of year, a lot of people are getting together, families, so you could actually come and get a variety of different themed Easter cupcakes and have a party.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I love that. So let's talk about this guy over here. What's that one?
Sure. This one is our peanut butter chocolate.
That looks
and what we've actually done is we've taken the peanut buttercream and we've turned it into a nut-free buttercream. So what we do is we use our Wow soy butter. So it's actually a peanut-free cupcake.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the on top?
So those are soy nuts. Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's so cool. Because you're probably getting so many requests for that, right?
Yes.
And I guess if you decide you're going to be nut-free, you're going to be nut-free, and
that's right.
You have to keep your facility that way,
That's right. Yes.
Oh, I love that, and that again, that when people need to know that it is nut-free.
Absolutely.
So from the beginning to end. So talking a little bit about some of the cake pops here. Love this little chick. These are so cute too, and again themed for Easter.
Absolutely, and we have a little Easter egg there as well.
That's adorable. Now again, personalizing them, colors, all that type of thing as well. And for other holidays, for Christmas, you must have so much fun.
Yes, Christmas we did little Santa hats and little hollies and things like that. For Valentine's Day, we would do hearts. So we just try to get into that holiday season.
That's fun. Okay, so now what are sort of, when people are planning to order ahead, what are the requirements? What would they do?
Well, we usually like to have at least 1 to 2 weeks notice of their order, and then we usually go through flavor, their color, what the theme of the party is, just so that we can get an idea of what we're going to be putting together, so it matches what they're looking for. We always want to make sure that we're meeting the customer's needs.
Okay, now people need to be quite specific, so calling you can go onto your website, obviously, right? Your website is?
www.sweetbitesbakeshop.com.
Okay, and they can go in there and look at some of what you offer.
Yes.
Right, and then but give you a call.
Give us a call, and you can place your order with us. We'll take your order over the phone, and then set up your pickup date.
Okay, so it's best to know really as many specifics as possible, right?
Yes.
Just so that again, talking to you, numbers, of course, the style, everything like that.
Right.
And now, to order out, how much time would someone need? I guess let's talk, say, wedding cakes. If you do beautiful wedding cakes, what?
So normally, what I'd like to do is meet with the bride and groom at least 4 to 5 months outside of their wedding date, and then start talking about their theme, how many guests they're having, things like that, and then they would come in and taste some of our product. And then from there, we would design the cake at least 1.5 months out, and then we would set the date for the delivery.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so you got to think well in advance when you're doing that type of thing,
Absolutely.
Right? No, and because that's the thing, when people aren't getting married every day, right? So they don't
right.
know like quantities, how big of a cake do I need? And I'm sure people are just so off when they probably think they need an enormous cake for if they're having 100 people, but sometimes it's just a small little piece.
That's right. We generally say about 80% of your guests will probably eat cake, and a lot of people have a dessert table as well, so there's a lot of sweets there. So you don't want to go too exorbitant with your cake, but at the same time you want it to look beautiful.
Yeah. It just kind of sort of off main topic what we're talking about, but what are some of the trends you're seeing moving forward this year with wedding cakes, colors, or anything like? Because you are probably going to have to suggest to people sometimes, aren't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, different shapes of wedding cakes. Actually, a lot of people, the cupcake trend is, it's here and it seems to be staying. So a lot of people really like to have the cupcakes for their weddings because it's in an individual serving,
right?
And it's cost saving as well.
Sure. Okay. And now that's the thing with cupcakes. I guess it would be cost saving, but you would make it so that it's you provide the container or the server, and it's all tiered up. Is that how you do it?
We could do it actually whichever way the client would want.
Sure.
So we could do tiers. We could do it across the table. Some people like to have cupcakes with a tiered cake, and we can do that and build around it. And we can design really anything that they would like to see.
That's a neat idea. Actually, I like that idea a lot. So so that's good. So again, for say cake pops for a birthday, how far out would you need to order something like that?
For a birthday, depending on the quantity, we usually like to get at least a week's notice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if someone's planning to order for Easter, they should probably be calling you soon, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because of the busy season. So I'm looking at this guy here. I want to just mention what's this one right here?
That one is our s'mores cupcake. It's called a Spike 'em Up s'more.
That is so cute.
So it's got marshmallow spikes and some chocolate shavings on a chocolate cupcake.
Oh my goodness. And what's this one here?
This one is our Love Your Lemons.
Okay.
And it's our lemon meringue cupcake. So it's a lemon cake with a meringue topping, and it's filled with lemon curd.
Oh,
it's delicious.
That is very cool. And the coconut one at the front.
This is our coconut cloud, which is my personal favorite.
Okay.
And it's filled with coconut custard, and then we put a cloud of coconut on top.
Oh, neat.
Yes.
Oh, I have a friend who loves coconut. She would love that. That's okay. So you have people coming in here. What would you say? I know we're talking seasonal as well. What would you say is your most popular cupcake, hands down, that people go for?
Hands down, probably the red velvet, and that's just because of its natural traditional popularity.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to come in and try the red velvet. But there are days where the lemon meringue flies off the shelf.
Go figure, right?
Yes.
It's hard to keep up with it.
Exactly.
Understand your customer.
That's right.
How do we understand our customer? Well, thank you so much for allowing us to come in your shop.
Thank you for coming.
SweetBites is located right downtown Oakville, the corner of Church and Trafalgar, and perfect for your holidays. And any day you need a little sweet bite, right?
Exactly.
Thank you. All right, we'll be back with more TERRA at Home.
Told your mom was coming this weekend, right?
No, you left that part out. Her first visit this weekend? Look around, we're not ready for that.
Where are you going?
To TERRA, where do you think?
This is amazing. You're amazing.
Well, we had a little help.
TERRA, where color lives. You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning, welcome back to TERRA at Home. I'm here on our TERRA set with Amii Dominato, and it's so fun to see you again. It's kind of been sort of off season for us a little bit, but we are so excited because we get to finally talk about spring and spring flowers and all the things, and the garden centers are just looking so gorgeous right now. TERRA looks awesome. So we need to start brightening up things around our place and out the front door, slowly get things out the front door soon enough, right?
Yes. Yeah, the weather's just starting to break, so depending on the weather, we can start getting things like the spring bulbs and stuff outside our front doors. I brought along a few planters just down here like with me
Yeah,
today.
I love
but
the planters.
We're starting to see the tulips and the things like that coming up in our garden, so it makes us start thinking spring and Easter.
Yeah, it does, and
Right.
I love that. And Easter's kind of caught people off guard a little bit. It's quite early this year.
It is, yes.
So we're like a week away. So it's hard when we're fighting the weather too, right? Because we know here in Canada, particularly Southern Ontario, we don't know what we're going to be hit with.
No.
So you'll have a couple nice days where you can put these out, and you may have to bring them in.
Yes.
Because snow is coming, and then you put them back out, and hopefully it melts. So yeah, it's we're just playing around with that a little bit. But again,
It
it
is.
just feels so good to have color again.
Spring
and
color,
spring
yes.
flowers.
Something different, spring, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So let's again talk about some of these the potted plants as well. Just it's really nice to have these in your home, but they're also great for gifts for people as families starting to get together.
Yeah, everybody has different tastes, so bringing a little bit of color into your house is perfect. I brought along things like an orchid and a calla lily, the tulips. Those are things that say spring, but not necessarily Easter. They're great to
That's
add
right.
just some color to your house.
I love this lily too. That's a beautiful lily. The way
Yeah.
it's,
Oh yeah, gorgeous.
I love the color. And again, something as you say, just bringing some color into your house without being screaming. Maybe Easter,
Yeah,
only
Easter. It's not a it's not a hydrangea. It's not an Easter lily.
Yeah.
But it's going to give you a nice pop of color for spring in your
Exactly.
house.
I love the way this one's laid out too. This is beautiful.
Yeah,
Really
and just,
cute.
and the spring bulbs. It's just something simple, but
Yep.
it's exactly that. It's the color, the early color.
And this guy down here, this is neat. I love
Yeah.
the container as well.
That one there, it's just gardens in glass are something that we're seeing quite often now. Just little things planted within a glass container. So I did up one with just the violets. So it's something, it's a little bit more springy, could be Easter-like, but something that you could just have year
I
round
agree.
if you want. So.
And that's something again. And once the violets, if you wanted to switch the violets out, you can put
you
in
can
anything and
absolutely. I mean, violets
that-
will keep living and reflower, but
Right.
you could put something else in
That's
it.
what I like about violets. Actually, they're pretty easy to take care
Oh,
of.
they are. They're
I
much easier than
grow a
people
violet.
think. Yes.
I've learned a lot here working at TERRA, but
And I always say if you can do a violet, you can do an orchid, because actually orchids don't need a ton more care than
Yeah.
a violet. But
I've yet to tackle that one again. The orchids I've had my days with, so I'm going to try again sometime. But I really like that one. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
So
it is.
again, having that combination, of course, as we associate again spring, of course, with daffodils. So
Yes.
seeing daffodils is definitely
oh, absolutely, daffodils scream spring,
Yeah.
Easter.
well, especially if they haven't quite managed to pop out of the ground yet. But they're
No.
one of the first ones to come. Those and crocuses, right?
Yeah.
They come up.
Yep,
and-
absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll see them earlier or later, depending on where they are outside. But
Right.
yeah, here at TERRA, we have them. We've got them ready for you. They're blooming. They're ready to go.
And that's
yeah.
what's exciting is if you think you're still kind of stuck in winter, if you walk in the doors here, any of our locations, it is just color everywhere, and you'll want to buy patio furniture because it just pushes you forward. I know. I just all of a sudden want it to be summer. So this is
suddenly
it's-
you're thinking about what you're going to do outside for the
It
summer
is.
and what. Yeah, exactly.
You can't help it, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like going into clothing stores. We all of a sudden want to buy our spring shirts.
Make it look so easy and
So now, of
perfect.
course, this is also very much Easter if we're talking about
Yes.
hydrangeas as well, right?
Yeah, those ones are very much Easter, very traditional Easter, the different hydrangeas. So we grow them here at TERRA. We grow several here at TERRA, and in the different colors. So a pink, a purple, a blue, there's white we carry them in. And these couple arrangements, I just paired them with some other nice spring colors.
Yeah,
so.
this is nice. And again, you have the violets in there as well. So, and some of the colors at the front.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always like the bright colors. For Easter, I love like the blue and the yellow
Yeah.
and things like that. So I did up the one with that type of a color. But then, the nice soft purples and things like that.
So these will be all ready for people to come in and...
Oh yeah, we have several different arrangements to choose from here at TERRA, pre-made, different price points, different looks, etc. Or we'll make them up for you.
Because that's what I was thinking. So I know we were looking at the ones on the floor at the front at the beginning. Now, so that is something that people can come in, just like with our Christmas baskets. You can come in and have a whole one
Oh,
done up.
absolutely. You could have something completely custom made for you, for your house, or you can come in and choose from our pre-made line. But we have designers who will walk with you and help you choose what is appropriate for you. And we have all the components. So if you're ambitious and you want to do it yourself, we have the pots, we've got the soil, we've got the plant material, and you could put something together yourself.
And that's what a lot of people like doing is they like to have that selection of things around. It gives them some ideas, even by looking at some of our pre-made baskets, as you say. Like some people want to do the quick in and out, grab a basket, but some people gain inspiration from looking at our baskets that are already done.
And it's fun.
And then
it's
build
very
them up.
craft-like. So if you like doing things like that, it can become a hobby. I like every season changing up my planters and trying to think about what I'm going to do with them.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting. And I hear a lot of people say that, especially after being in the winter, they can't wait to get their hands in soil again.
Yes.
It might be a little chilly and your hands might be freezing while you're doing it.
Yeah.
But, sit in your garage and play around and make some
I'm
pretty...
always ambitious those first couple weeks when the weather
you?
cracks. I want to get out and do it, and I get out there, and then it's...
Are you going to be this year? here though? You're
Oh,
maybe
I don't
coming.
know. Yeah, this one will be
This
here.
is a sign of spring. You can't buy these here though, but you're due in May, right?
Yes,
So yeah,
yeah.
Congratulations, by the way. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
A new addition to the TERRA family.
Yes.
So really, it's all about coming in here and adding to your spring. Now, obviously, besides a lot of the planters and that, I mean, there are so many other elements to
absolutely.
add to the look around your house.
Yeah, anything that you see here too pairs really well. Like if you're giving a gift, it's a centerpiece, the decor, the table decor that you can set it up and really tell a complete story. And that's what's so perfect about TERRA. It's not just a one-stop.
Yep.
You can find so many different things.
And that's the thing, a lot of things that are coordinating, or nowadays it's just anything goes, right? So, but I just noting a lot of color, glassware, and again, setting up the table, because that's another big focus is, you're having family coming over for Easter.
Yeah.
You want to make your whole house kind of switch over from maybe some of the dark colors that you've had, the dark shades, the jewel tones, and all the reds and that in the house.
And getting spring in and
So really looking around the garden center from, again, sort of the dried flower wreath looks, that type of thing, the silk flowers and that type of thing, to really just
lots of florals and things like that you're seeing.
So really it's a matter of coming into the store, and again, all the stores are just full of this stuff right now. What other flowers that we can't show here are going to be available by the time people can come in today?
Well, there's going to be obviously all of what you see here, and then things like Easter lilies will be in, different colored lilies. There would also be things like Martha Washington geraniums and some things like that that are kind of Easter staples. They're things that people expect to see at Easter, and we always carry a huge selection of all of those. And then we're also starting to bring in our May crop, so you'll start to see some other geraniums growing and things like that here at TERRA.
And that's the exciting part, is if you go back in other parts of the greenhouse, you can see all the ones to come, right? All the little babies and things that are ready to...
The hydrangeas have been growing since Christmas, so we've had them up here since the...
It's not fun. I know, it's fun to see, and that's what we love coming here and being able to see all this happen. So again, come into all the TERRA locations, and of course, you know what you're doing. Everybody else around here does, and you can talk to you guys and get some advice on color combinations and what to do and what plants work well with others, and good to go. All right, next time I see you, I'm sure we'll be talking, we'll moving through spring and talking summer. I love it. Okay, thanks, Amy. We'll be back with more TERRA Home in just a bit.
Come and explore the new TERRA, where color lives.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We are in our beautiful kitchen, which I think looks oh so nice. Rachel and I love it. It's been redone. We like it. So, Rachel, we're making something wonderful, a side dish for Easter using fennel, which I have actually never personally really cooked a lot with, but you're actually making it a full-on baking it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to roast it in the oven. Fennel's a really nice vegetable slash herb. You can there's so many different uses for it, and it's different, right? So I thought this would be something a little different for Easter for a side dish, but it's also really delicious,
right?
With all the flavors. So I'll just tell you a little bit about fennel to start. This is what it looks like when you buy it. So this is the big bulb. You want to cut the top off, these stalks. You want to cut those off first. And this is the part that we're going to use and slice and eat.
Okay.
You can use, the pieces up here. Very similar appearance to dill.
It does.
If you didn't know, and it was by itself, like I would, without smelling it, right? Obviously, the smell's a little different. So you can use all of this still, but this is the part that's going to be easy for us to cut and cook. So we'll just put that to the side. So this is nice and fresh and crisp. It's very hard, but you can eat it raw if you want to. You can cook it. You can cook it any kind of way. So
That's
there's
a great
so
part.
much
You
to
can,
do.
Yeah, there's so much you can do with it. Having it cut up in salads, and we were talking about, a lot of times people in Italy will have it just raw, like right out of their garden, just chop it up with some salt and some olive oil, and it tastes very good and fresh like that. So the flavor profile behind this is almost like a black licorice, right?
Yes.
And that's what people need to identify. But wouldn't you say once you cook it, it softens those flavors, doesn't it?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So when we cook this today, we're going to put a little bit of, stock and wine in the pan too. So the fennel on its own is going to get nice and soft, and you're right, the flavors are going to get soft as well in that kind of a way. And we're going to add in some cheese, so it's really going to tone down that licorice flavor. So I think a lot of people stay away from this because it is kind of different, and they're not sure if they like that.
Sometimes, right? It's like, okay, I've had it in a salad. Well, now what? What else do I do? So this is a great idea.
Yeah. So salad's a really good idea, and if you're going to put it in a salad, I always suggest slicing it up really kind of thin, and sometimes I even let it soak in a little bit of dressing, so some oil, lemon juice or vinegar, and that kind of softens it up too.
That's a good idea. Okay.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, you can eat it, with your raw veggies. You can braise it and boil it and barbecue it.
Oh yes, that's right, grilled up too. That's always very nice.
And all of those different cooking techniques will give it a different flavor too. But don't be scared at the fact that it's a licorice flavor.
Right.
So I cut this in half, and as you can see, there's the core here. So what we want to do is we want to cut most of that core out. So I just cut a little bit of a triangle, because that's the shape of it, and then take that out. And then from here we'll cut it into wedges. So however big you want the wedges to be, what I would do is cut this in half and then in half again. And you still have a little bit of that core in there, which will be edible because it'll soften up, and you're keeping that there just to keep it intact, so it doesn't.
I was going to ask
so
you,
it doesn't fall apart, right?
Because it'll all just fall into its own little individual pieces. Okay.
Yeah.
Good
so this
tip.
is just
That's
a way to keep it together, to make it cook easier, more evenly, and it's nice for presentation as well. And then so you just lie them in your casserole dish like this, just an oven-proof dish.
So and just plain, no oils or anything?
No. So that's how I start by preparing this.
Okay.
We'll just cut it in half again, see how much more we can.
So I guess the tip you were telling me is that you're putting this in here, and you first will take this and bake this up for about 15 minutes on its own without anything, right?
Right.
Okay.
Maybe even a little bit longer, 20 to 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And not just on its own. What we're going to do is we're going to add some stock in.
Okay, I was wondering about that because it would just kind of dry out, wouldn't it? Yeah.
You want to give it a little bit of moisture. So I have beef stock. I tend to use this a lot just because it's a little more flavorful than the chicken. But any kind of stock you want or have, if you've got some that you made in the freezer, that would be ideal, your homemade stock. So a little bit of that in the bottom, keep it moist, and some white wine, just to give it a little bit of extra flavor.
That'll be nice.
So I kind of pour it on. It's not going to stay on top, but just so it gets on every little piece there.
Right.
And then I season at this point with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then if you preheat your oven to 375 degrees, I would say at least 20, maybe even 30 minutes. You can cook this for quite a long time. You want it to be nice and soft. Sometimes I go in and just move them around a bit, make sure that they're all, kind of covered and getting that moisture.
Okay.
And that's it. So when you take that out of the oven, it'll be nice and soft, but for the purpose of the show today, we're just gonna finish it off right now. Yeah, we're gonna finish this off now.
Okay.
So, really simple. I have a mixture here of breadcrumbs. So these are just seasoned breadcrumbs. I like using the Italian seasoned breadcrumbs just because it has some herbs in it.
Extra flavor.
If you make your own breadcrumbs or you just have the plain ones, I would just suggest adding, your favorite fresh herbs, some salt and pepper, just to give it that flavor. Panko, which I really like.
Oh, good.
That's the Japanese breadcrumb because it's a little crispier and crunchier and more coarse, right? And then some Parmesan cheese. So that's my breadcrumb mixture, which I have already done here.
Okay.
And just sprinkle that on top. And I'd be really generous with it.
Now, will some of this liquid have, I guess it probably, I guess would dissipate a little bit, right? At that point if it's been baking, so.
A little bit. And it's okay to have a little bit in there, but if you find that there's too much, I've done this in the past, if you take it out after half an hour and you find that there's a lot of liquid in the bottom, just pour a little bit of it out.
Okay. All right.
But it's okay to have some in there.
So you don't need to have too much in there to be baking this again. Okay, so that's actually great. And of course we all know like breadcrumbs and cheese and everything on top of any kind of vegetable tastes awesome.
Yeah.
So this is a great way to experiment with fennel if you haven't tried it before.
Yes.
All right, and then eventually we'll sprinkle on cheese.
Yeah. So I've decided to use some Swiss cheese today. So I have Gruyere, which is this one, and some Emmenthal.
Okay.
And it's just shredded. So I'll put that on top as well. And then it can go back into the oven for, I'd say about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
And you want it to, be nice and melted and kind of a brown color.
So that's what we'll do, and we'll come back from break and we'll show you how it all plays out. I can't wait to try this. Be right back.
Told you Mom was coming this weekend, right?
No, you left that part out. Her first visit this weekend? Look around, we're not ready for that.
Where are you going?
To Terra, where do you think?
This is amazing. You're amazing.
Well, we had a little help.
TERRA, where color lives. You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Welcome back to TERRA Home, and we're back with Chef Rachel, and you've just removed our freshly baked fennel, and this is a really great dish. Again, something I wouldn't have thought about, but very easy, straightforward. And we were talking about you were adding, perhaps before you baked it, just a little bit of butter, or warm butter that you would pour
Yeah,
over?
you can melt some butter and just pour it over top of the breadcrumbs. You can mix it in with the breadcrumbs, or just get some chunks and lay it on top. However you want to do it, but just so it melts in the oven and kind of gives it, it'll give it a little more flavor as well with the butter, and just a little more moisture on top.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then you put it in the oven again for 15 or 20 minutes just to melt all the cheese and get it nice and browned. And if you wanted to, you could even put it under the broiler for the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, which is always nice to do when
color.
you have breadcrumbs, right? Is to kind of warm the top of it and toast it up a little.
Yeah, because you want it to have that nice golden brown color.
Right. Oh, it smells so
And then
good.
before you serve it, you can garnish it with some fresh parsley or any of your favorite herbs. I always say, all these herbs, they really all go well with anything.
Right.
So whatever you kind of have on hand, you
personal
think
flavor. So while you're doing that, as a reminder, of course, you can log onto our website anytime, terragreenhouses.com, for more information and to find these recipes and try them out. And we can go back throughout the shows and again put it together a whole Easter dinner actually, because we were talking about what would pair nicely with this. Again, would be a really nice roasted lamb. That makes me hungry thinking about it.
Yes,
doesn't it? But that's a great spring meal, right? Maybe some asparagus if we're getting some asparagus coming around soon. So. Some good options there, and put together a nice Easter meal. Because along the way, you've done asparagus, we've done that on the show.
We have
done lamb. So you can go back in the shows and find them and make a good meal for yourself.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rachel. This was
Thank
really
you.
good. I can't wait to try this. It smells so yummy, and again, anything with cheese and breadcrumbs sprinkled on top.
How could you
Awesome.
not like it?
I love it. All right, have yourself a good weekend. We'll be back. More TERRA at Home next weekend.
Told you Mom was coming this weekend, right?
No, you left that part out. Her first visit this weekend? Look around, we're not ready for that.
Where are you going?
To Terra, where do you think?
This is amazing. You're amazing.
Well, we had a little help.
TERRA, where color lives.